We will now try to understand about what is composite hypothesis. If a hypothesis specifies not just one value but a range of values, it is not one but a range of values that the population parameter may assume is called a composite hypothesis. We'll see from the example which are all composite hypothesis, right? So what this says that if it is not single value, it is more than one value, range of values. So what is composite hypothesis here? It is mu1 greater than mu2. So greater than is there, no? So mu is greater than 200 grams. The average weight of banana of Kerala is greater than 200 grams. It may be 201, 202, 203 and so on to infinity, we don't know. So it is greater than so many values it is taking. This is the example of the composite hypothesis. So we have seen that hypothesis is divided into two parts, simple and compound hypothesis. So example also given, mu is greater than 200 and mu1 greater than mu2 here. This also here, mu1 greater than mu2, that is mu1 minus mu2, right? I can write it as mu1 minus mu2 is greater than 0, right? So it takes lot many values. So this is the example of the composite hypothesis. Now we'll now see the important point. The second is complete, no? Third part is nothing but we are going to learn about the null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Null and alternative hypothesis. So we are going to learn about null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So we started with what is hypothesis. We started with this lesson, what is hypothesis. Then we learnt about two division of hypothesis, simple and composite hypothesis. Now we are going to learn about what is null hypothesis and what is alternative hypothesis. In order to know about the null and alternative hypothesis, you should know about the word what is null. Null is equal to 0. So that is what we can say, which is equal to 0, we call it as null hypothesis. Alternate means which is not null, it is said to be alternate. So in order to learn about null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, so we call upon logic in mathematics. Okay, logic in mathematics. How this is framed, first we'll try to understand. Okay, suppose this is nothing but the not table. Logic, especially not table only, is used here. There are two statements. Suppose there are two statements, single statement P. Okay, if P is not opposite of P, or we can call it as not P, right? Which is P and P which is not P. What is the truth table of P and not P, right? Converse of these two are converse statement. P and not P are converse statement. Okay, one is converse of the other. So what is the truth table? So I am drawing the truth table. If P is true, then not P will be false, right? If P is false, then not P will be true, right? So this is known as truth table. P is known as our null hypothesis. Okay, here and not P will be our alternative hypothesis. Okay, P is our null hypothesis and not P is our alternative hypothesis. What I mean by this? Suppose if I say null hypothesis is true, that means you are sure that alternative hypothesis is false. Instead of telling like that, I can say I will test for alternative hypothesis. If the alternative hypothesis is false, then I am sure that null hypothesis is true. Okay? If my alternative hypothesis is true, then my null hypothesis is false. So I will just check my everything with the null hypothesis. So statistically, I will test the null hypothesis. Okay, if null hypothesis is true, okay, I will check with the null hypothesis. If null hypothesis is true, then alternative hypothesis is false. Is false. Okay, if I'm going to test this null hypothesis. Okay, if my null hypothesis is true, then I'm sure that alternative hypothesis is false. That means I do not reject null hypothesis. Statistically speaking, I will tell do not reject. So what I will tell, do not reject null hypothesis. Okay, then my alternative hypothesis will be actually false. Next is the, if my null hypothesis is false. How I did this? I'm going to test it. Statistically, I'm going to test it. After testing, I understood that my null hypothesis is false. That means my alternative hypothesis is true, right? Whenever you frame the hypothesis, actually we are talking about the alternative hypothesis only. So we are framing the null hypothesis to conclude about the alternative hypothesis. Our full concentration is on alternative hypothesis. Okay, what my alternative hypothesis is it true, is it false? That is what I am going to check. Okay, that is my main check. Whether my alternative hypothesis is true, whether my alternative hypothesis is false, that is where my concentration is. It's not about the null hypothesis. My full concentration will be in alternative hypothesis, whether it is true or whether it is false. Now the question arises, why can't I use only alternative hypothesis itself? Why to introduce this null? Okay, that question may arise in your mind. Why to introduce this null alternative hypothesis? Because I'm bothered about alternative hypothesis only. Why am I introducing this null hypothesis? Right? The question here is, suppose I'll give an example. One man is there, right? Okay, one man is there. He always tell the truth. He speaks only truth. What is my claim? My claim is that this man always speaks truth. Okay, he never speaks false statement. He is speaking only truth. That is what I want to claim. So what I will take that in one situation, he gave false statement. Okay, in one situation he gave false statement. That is my claim that he always speaks truth. What I am telling, he always. What is my claim? He always speaks truth. But I have tested that in one particular case he has told the false statement. That clearly shows that my statement here, he always speaks truth, is a false. Okay, he always speaks truth is a false statement, because in one situation he has told the false. Okay, that one example, one counter example I can say, one counter example is enough, okay, to show that this man is the claim which is made that he always speaks truth is not correct. Okay, this is the basic of the framing the null hypothesis, right? This is a basic. Suppose here one particular place he has told the false statement, itself is enough to say that this statement he always speaks truth is false, right? We are nullifying this by saying the some means at one situation he has told the false statement. Now in another case there is no evidence. Another case is possible, no evidence is there. Okay, what evidence? Where he speaks false statement. Okay, so this case 1 I can call it as case 2. Okay, no evidence where he has spoken the false statement, means I can say that my hypothesis, that is he always speaks truth, there is no evidence to say that this statement is false. So I can say do not reject. In this case, do not reject. In this case, reject. My decision in the first case, I can call it as first. I can call this a second state. Okay, in the first case, there is one evidence that he has spoken the false statement. So I am going to reject my hypothesis that he always speaks the truth. Here, boldly I reject it. Here, I am unable to. Second condition is, second case is, I have never collected evidence where he has spoken any false statement. So I do not reject this statement that he always speaks the truth. I cannot use the word accept. Why I cannot use the word accept? I am unable to collect the evidence. There is quite possible that he might have spoken some false statement. I am unable to collect that particular evidence. Okay, so there are so many cases, right from his birth. Do you think I will be rewinding myself and go right from his birth? And today's situation till his death, I cannot stay with him and every statement what he speaks, whether it's truth or false, I cannot check. So in this case, I cannot accept that he always says the truth, but I am sure that I do not reject. I do not reject this statement because I don't have any evidence to say that this is not correct. So because I am unable to collect such evidence, I am telling that do not reject the hypothesis. So this is the full understanding of the null and alternative hypothesis, right? That is why we are framing the null hypothesis to, this is null hypothesis, I can say. This one, no, I am telling this is the null hypothesis, whether to reject or do not reject. Okay, so whether to reject the null hypothesis or do not reject. That is, what is my null hypothesis? He always speaks the truth is the null hypothesis. Whether I am going to reject it or I am going to do not reject it. So I am these two decisions. So there are two types of decisions I can say. This is my null hypothesis. Okay, if I am talking about the null hypothesis, I will take two types of decision tree, I can call it as. What are the decision? Reject, do not reject. That's all. This is what claim I can do about the null hypothesis.